drinking a Dr. Pepper while I have 4th of July fireworks behind me. Oh, it slaps. 10 out of 10. Happy 4th to all the Americans out there. Nova Universe, signing off.
It has been a very tumultuous couple of weeks for one NovaOnline. You see, we've come a very far way from the days of Nova's TikTok reviews on Wingstop where he was getting millions of views and millions of likes. And now, well, he's bitching about me and Kiwi on his Instagram, his TikTok, his podcast, really anywhere he can. Out of nowhere, Nova seemed to take a massive dislike towards myself and Kiwi and other YouTubers such as Sensitive Society. You see, Nova doesn't like it when people call him out, especially when they call him out for his weird Discord diaper play where he was like talking like a baby around a bunch of minors, and it's so interesting to see that this is something that Nova wants to fight against to try to dispel any rumors of him being a creep, and the way he's going to do that is by starting a podcast with a 15-year-old girl. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. You see, because we've been covering Nova pretty extensively over on our podcast, Too High for Stupid, and we do it every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time over on Kiwi's channel. Now, over the past few weeks, we've been covering Nova's antics, and the fact that he clearly had like some managers or some trolls messing with him, posting on his behalf at some points, but what we didn't know was just who was the one doing this, and it is somebody who now has been confirmed again to be 15 years old, and this is just a terrible situation all around, because this kid knows that they're just trolling Nova. They think it's all fun and games, but it's really dangerous to have a minor around somebody like Nova who has, you know, he has a weird thing with acting weird around kids. So to that person, if you are hearing this, please, whatever you do, just stay far away from this guy. This is a horrible situation, and nobody wants to see an actual child at risk. So if you are hearing this again, please get as far away from Nova as you possibly can. And Nova, the fact that you know this, that you are aware that your co-host is a 15-year-old girl, and you as a 20-year-old man are just having them there with no problem because you in your mind don't see yourself as a problem, well, you really got to reassess the situation here, Nova. I know you're probably desperate to have anybody on your side, and when somebody came to you and told them how young they were, you didn't want to let that go. That's such a creepy tendency for any of these people to have. White Bowser had it, Cyrax has it. They all want to make friends no matter what age they are, and they don't see a problem in doing it, despite everybody knowing and having proof that they have done incredibly shady shit in the past involving kids. So I wanted to put that out there again to let people know that yes, Nova is actively trying to be around minors again, and this guy, for as like goofy as he sounds, he's an actual danger, and please don't forget that throughout the course of this video. But what I want to do now is show you some of the hate that Nova was spewing at myself, Kiwi, and Sensitive Society over the past few weeks. All these are things that he posted, then took down when he realized like how bad it made him look, how crazy he sounded, because at one point he claimed that him and the alt-right were coming for us. Now, Nova didn't bother doing his research on what the alt-right was, and then the second he did, he decided to put up this post informing people that he does not stand for that, and he's not that type of person. Now, after this, the term alt-right seemed to stop being thrown around by Nova entirely, but then the term racist started being thrown around, and it's funny when you consider that it wasn't being thrown at me, it wasn't being thrown at Kiwi, it wasn't being thrown at Sensitive, it was being thrown at his own comment section, because ladies and gentlemen, these people who are Nova fans, or, you know, hint hint, they're actually not Nova fans, probably just a bunch of trolls in his comments, they, under the guise of Nova fans, have been commenting some incredibly racist, terrible things about myself, Kiwi, Sensitive, and really anybody who opposes Nova. Now, Nova, being the genius that he is, decided it was time to make a video calling out all these people in his comments and telling them to stop being racist towards us. Yeah, they may not like us, but it's not an excuse to be racist.
Hey, it's NovaOnline, and while I despise Kiwi, Smokey, and Sensitive Society just please don't make any racist comments about them. Just because Sensitive is Mexican and Kiwi and Smokey do drugs, that's just no excuse to say racist shit about them, because one, that's not cool, that doesn't make you any better than they are, and two, making up shit about them, you go as low as they do, because they have made up false shit about a lot of people. So guys, if you're seeing this, just please stop commenting racist shit about the 3 people that I'm trying to stop using my name for. They're just using my name as cash cows at this point. Anyways, stop being racist in my comments, guys. I don't condone it.
So, let me ask you guys something. Known internet lolcow and predator NovaOnline makes a plea to his audience to please stop being racist. Please listen to me on this one thing. I don't want people going out there and doing this in my name. I'm asking you this as NovaOnline, your dear internet friend. Do you think people listen to that? Or, option 2, did things get increasingly more racist to the point that Nova had to make a second call-out video?
Guys, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Guys, stop being racist in my comments. I mean, I hate Kiwi, Smokey, and Sensitive Society as much as y'all do, but it's not an excuse to be racist, so stop. Get some help. Please. Just because you hate them doesn't mean you can be racist to them.
And as you can imagine, things have not gotten any better. The racism towards myself and Kiwi and Sensitive has only increased like tenfold ever since Nova made that video, but he's just been ignoring it or deleting the comments. It's not been a fun time for Nova. He's trying to stand for something, and these people in the comments, well, they're standing for something else. Nova's been posting a lot of these workout videos too, been in the gym pumping iron, and I think this is yet another thing he's trying to do to scare myself, Kiwi, and Sensitive Society. He doesn't want us to ever speak his name again. Despite us saying truthful things about him that he will claim are false, he's gonna try to threaten us with his new physique, and it's working, ladies and gentlemen. I'm terrified of the prospect of a shredded Nova coming kicking down my door. A little bit after this, a homie on Twitter named Trippy sent me this picture that he took while driving through town, where he saw Nova just out chilling on the side of the road, kind of enjoying traffic while listening to his music. It's a pretty good picture of Nova, and it's something Nova will reference when he brings all of us up in his podcast episode. Another thing that I have to mention is that Nova's podcast was like days in the making. People were waiting each and every day, waiting for it to come out, and Nova would constantly find an excuse of why it wasn't out. But then, just a few days ago on the 28th or the 29th, I'm not sure exactly which day it was, the Hour of Joy podcast dropped. And funnily enough, this Hour of Joy was only 39 minutes, but I digress. It was a terribly sounding podcast between Nova and his 15-year-old co-host. And again, I know I'm not one to really be talking about audio, but this is just going to sound terrible, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to cut the background music, cut all that, and just show you what Nova had to say about us. I'm going to cut out the 15-year-old's voice as much as possible, and we're also not going to listen to the entire thing because it is hell to get through. But I'm going to show you now the first episode of Nova's brand new podcast that's sweeping the nation, a podcast that only exists despite myself, Kiwi, and Sensitive Society, which only made it more funny when Sensitive hopped on Too High for Stupid with us a few weeks ago to talk about Nova, but I digress yet again. Let's listen to the Hour of Joy.
Debut episode of Hour of Joy, and joining me is my social media manager, Sia.
Hi guys.
Okay, so first off, before we start, I wanted to apologize for the delay in getting the first video out. We've been really busy. We've been preparing for the podcast, and we've also been preparing for just stuff in general. Yeah, we're just trying to sort everything out, and we've even got word that Sophia is trying to get that feud started again. Yeah, she apparently had a meltdown on my mother's birthday. But I'm pulling up Smokey's Twitter right now.
Alright, I'll do the same. Hold on.
So the most recent tweet that he has of messaging me is retweeting a comment of someone that cited me near the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was posted by a guy called Trippy McGuire.
Yeah.
LMAO, this is like a Bigfoot sighting from Yakub's favorite Spanish experiment.
So basically, the entirety of the beginning of Nova's first ever podcast is really just him going through my Twitter and sulking about things that I've either retweeted or posted myself. And again, he only has this kid with him because in his mind he needs to find people who are like-minded like him and hate us so he can build some army against us. He doesn't bother looking into these people's ages, and when they do tell him that they're a minor, he doesn't cut them off. Because that's the person Nova is. This entire podcast, while also being one of the most boring things you'll ever listen to, is really just Nova there, trying to hate on people who justifiably hate on him, and trying to find people to hate on us with him. Since this news has come out, and people have been talking about the fact that Nova's buddying up to a 15-year-old, he has not mentioned it at all. Also, he deleted this podcast episode, as I've mentioned, so he's trying to run away from this, and I don't know if he's still in contact with this kid, but if he is, just, again, what is wrong with you, Nova? Why do you keep constantly talking to minors? It's incredibly odd, and again, something needs to be done about people like this. Nova is 20 years old, and a lot of people will give him an excuse for that, but no, I'm sorry, when I was 20 years old, I wasn't hanging around on the internet with 15-year-olds. Now, as creepy as that is, imagine if you're somebody who also has a track record of doing creepy things around kids. Again, I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of beating the point home, but seeing Nova doing this is really, it's not funny. For the longest time, we were sitting here laughing at his, dopey food reviews, but the more I see of this, the more pissed off I get, because nobody who's been accused of that shit or has proof, especially when you have proof, should be anywhere around kids, and Nova and all these creeps always find a way to do it and weasel their way in.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, shit. I'm drinking root beer in the background, so I'm sorry if I burp into the mic on accident. Let's go ahead and head over to Kiwi's Twitter, see if he's posted any new bullshit. Oh, yeah. The last thing he posted about me was on the 24th, called Average Hour of Joy Listener.
Yeah. It appears it's one of your fans said something racist about you being the supreme race.
More White Bowser stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing Smokey posted. Retweet from Internet Anarchist. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, did you hear that Sensitive Society appeared on a episode of Too High for Stupid? I don't think that was last week. I think it was the episode I think it was the episode that happened last Wednesday, but it was the one before that.
Nova inadvertently admits that he watches our show. I mean, he knew exactly which episode Sensitive Society was on, in chronological order. It was the one before last week, you know? But this is something that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Nova does. Not only because he's been in the chat room on our show a few times, but a few weeks ago, somebody donated a few gift memberships. Not even a few, about 50 in the beginning of the show, and they just get given out randomly to people who were watching, and you don't have to be typing anything, you can just be given one, and when you are given one, it'll say your name in the chat, that hey, so-and-so was just given a gift membership for this channel. And right before the show went live, one name popped up amongst the 50, that name being the NovaOnline universe. So Nova, in his quest to stay all stealthy in our chat and lurk and trying to spy on us and see what we were talking about, was outed by a goat gifting some memberships. Shout out to that guy.
I'm just glad me and Sensitive both hate I'm Alex.
Who's I'm Alex?
He was a commentary YouTuber that got exposed for being a ABUSER.
Oh.
Spelling it out so Spotify doesn't take this down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm Alex was one of the many YouTubers that made a false accusation video on me.
So I'll admit, I was completely unaware that Alex had done a video on Nova at some point, but it's honestly not that surprising. Nova, I think, now wants to say, hey, because Alex has a track record of running with false narratives and making false accusations at people, well, that now makes Nova exonerated in his mind. It does not, Nova. Even if Alex talked about you, so did a million other people, and not all of them were wrong. As a matter of fact, none of them were wrong, because you are exactly the thing that you try to fight against. People have seen the videos of you in that Discord talking like a baby with a bunch of minors in there, some really weird shit. But again, he thinks because now Alex is a creep too, that just makes him all good. And I don't really know why he says that he has some common ground with Sensitive Society, because him and Sensitive both hate Alex. So I guess that means that me and Kiwi Tapes just are huge Alex fans, but again, I guess that's a story for another day. Alex is the worst. I have a video on that guy down on the channel too, if you guys want to check that out. But look, the Hour of Joy, from what I just showed y'all, is one of the worst podcasts of all time. He brings us up, he just looks at our Twitters for a few minutes, he goes into a few other YouTubers, then rants about Tofiachu, and that's all you need to know. And it's not even an hour. Again, you can't sell people a false bill of goods, Nova. We wanted the full Hour of Joy, and all you gave us was 39 minutes. Blue balling the hell out of us. But in this video here, you can see Nova in his Mick Foley flannel shirt, and he's drinking some water, reviewing a Subway wrap, not even a Subway sub. That sounds just abysmal, a Subway wrap. But Nova gave it a pretty high score. So before I get out of here today, because the real point of this video is to let you know that Nova's back being a creep, and that he's also calling out myself, Kiwi, Sensitive Society, and many other YouTubers. Well, I guess the only thing left to do now is go look at some of Nova's best posts from the past few weeks and just try to make sense of them. Right here, Nova's at the gym, and you can't ever hate on somebody for wanting to go to the gym and bettering themselves, but with Nova, it's very just confusing to me, because he seems like somebody who does this specifically for the camera. Like, after he gets a few curls in, he's like, alright, let's put these bitches down, let's head over to Burger King, let's try their new, fish sandwich or whatever, take a video for TikTok, and everybody's none the wiser, right? I don't know, I'm making a lot of accusations here at Nova. He does make a lot of gym vlog videos, but again, when he goes home and completely offsets it by just eating a Subway wrap, I don't know what to say, you know? But you know what I got a lot to say about? The fact that Nova used to love going to this karaoke bar, and despite only being 20, not able to drink, and not wanting to drink anyway because he's like straight edge, I guess, Nova would love going to this place, screaming into the microphone, letting all his anger and his frustration out through the karaoke machine. And, you know, we had our laughs with this. A few weeks ago, I said that he looked like a lemon just screaming at the bar, and it probably was a tough time for these dudes behind him who were just trying to get a beer after work, and really kept them from enjoying their night because Nova couldn't stop screaming. Well, for those people and the eardrums of everybody else in there, for all of their sakes, Nova has been banned from the karaoke establishment. Now, I'm not entirely sure why this is. Somebody wrote me on Twitter and said that they reported Nova and let the place know, about his creepy activities online beforehand. But I don't know, man. All I know is Nova eventually came out and admitted that yes, this is true, and there will be no more karaoke for the foreseeable future. And this had to be a rough one for the Novster, because you know this was one of his happy places where he could go and bounce around to his heart's content, but not no more. And now that he's going to be spending a lot more time home with nothing to do, he's been making more posts like this, saying, I refuse to let those 3 pathetic clout-chasing goblins, Kiwi Tapes, Smokeymcc, and Sensitive Society, tarnish my name and mock me for being myself. They think they're making a difference, but they're nothing more than grade school bullies. Every bully must grow up eventually. If they won't, I'll make them. This is my comeback era. The debut episode of my podcast is happening very soon. Hashtag no more bullies. Hashtag time to grow up. Hashtag I love how it ends with hashtag right wing, which lets you know that Nova probably didn't write this post. But nonetheless, it sounds like him, actually. Like, the rest of it sounds like him, and then that hashtag right wing is just... I don't know what's going on over on Nova's Instagram. People clearly have like access to it. At one point they posted this picture here that had just a bunch of dudes in ski masks, I guess meant to like signify this is Nova's squad and they're coming for blood. Again, this is a picture that was then later deleted with no further like explanation from Nova, but I bet you he logs into his account every day, sees a bunch of wacky shit like this, and just doesn't understand what's going on. Again, I'm not going to make excuses for him. This very well could be Nova just going off the rails, but I'm just going to assume with how much troll activity is going on around Nova's like little world, unless it's him on camera saying stuff himself, I'm just gonna chalk it up as people influencing him to say crazy shit. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that YouTube has been rolling out AI chat summaries. You know, these randomly generated AI, just explanations of what's happening in the chat as it's going on. And while we were doing our show, one of them popped up on screen here, and it said that viewers are discussing Nova's body type and speculating on how well he would float in a body of water, given that he has a lot of muscle and presumably less body fat. Some are suggesting that he would sink, while others believe that he would float. Someone who also suggests that Nova should review Kratom on his YouTube channel. So, like, first off, these are brilliant. These are just the greatest thing ever, and YouTube better never remove these. And finally, one of the last things I want to look at here is a post Nova made saying, "Hey Nova Nation, just wanted to share a glimpse of my day with you all. There's a lot brewing with Kiwi Tapes and Smokeymcc, so things are about to get interesting. Enjoy this little slice of calm before we gear up for the epic showdown with these two creators." I think at some point Nova thought maybe we'd have him on Too High for Stupid or something. He could go in there guns ablaze and try to call us out, but I'd like to let Nova know here, because he'll probably be watching this video, that you'll never be on Too High for Stupid. The days of us having lolcows on there like Bowser or Jupiter, those days are over, Nova, and we're not making no exceptions for you, and especially when you're like some threatening badass like you are. Like, let me just show you something. That post right there, that post was accompanied with this picture. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm slurring over my words right now. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be the toughest, roughest motherfucker on the block. When you see someone like this looking at you like that, you're gonna be trembling, just like I am right now. You know, this happened days ago, and I still can't sleep, because the eyes of that badass are just haunting me. He's coming for me, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming for all of y'all who dared mess with him. And NovaOnline, there's no one crazier, man. There really isn't. The dude's cringe. The dude's out there. He's not all there as Nova, but again, that's what makes him such a danger. I don't think he realizes how dangerous it is for him to be around a minor, knowing the stuff that he likes to do, but he'll never admit that, and he'll try to sweep this all under the rug. You bet your ass about that. But don't let Nova forget it, ladies and gentlemen. You can go over to the Leaping Lemurs channel. I'll have that in the link in the description below. Also, Sensitive Society's recent video on this, and also Kiwi Tapes as well. I feel like all three of those are very valid watching and something you need to see if you want to know more about this entire Nova situation. It's a wacky one. It's a gross one now, knowing that Nova's like really talking to a minor, and it's something that needs to be stopped. So everybody, if you see this stuff going on, please make sure, always report it. Never just send information like this to YouTubers like me. I'm just some guy who talks about this on the internet. Yes, I'm as disgusted as all of you, but I'm not the police. So when stuff like this gets like made public, please forward it to the proper authorities. That's all I can ask. And for now, I guess I just gotta say to y'all, have a great rest of your day, man. If you're not Nova, I hope you have a good one. You enjoy the rest of your summer, and you just kick back, relax with your family, your friends, and have an awesome day. Always remember that whenever things get rough, it could be worse. You could be someone like NovaOnline, and that would suck. That would suck oh so tremendously bad. But you're not, you're you, and you're a goat, and thank you for making it to the end of this video. I will see you on the next one. And for Nova, just know that we all know you're going to continue lurking, you're going to be in all these chats, you're going to be reading every comment, and you're no better than a Jupiter the Hybrid, a Tofiachu, any of these people who you want to call a creep. Now, yes, Jupiter is on another level of being a creep, but now with you getting back and talking with minors again, you're just as bad as him, dude. Leave kids out of it, stop being the way you are, and yeah, that's about it. Have a good rest of your day, guys. I'm out of here.